It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with It's Do Time with Pastor Steph. How are you doing this morning? That's what we love to hear. That's what we love to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Where have y'all been all week? Now, I know I told y'all yesterday that Pastor Steph will be right back here with y'all today, but she just needed a little more quiet time. Not that she doesn't love being with y'all, not that y'all are too loud and rowdy. She does live with me. Well, I live with her, But, sometimes you just need a little rest time, and we give God thanks that He blesses her with the stamina that she has. Because, child, sometimes I look at her and I'm like, see, Pastor Steph, this is why you're my hero. Because you got it going all the time. But God and Pastor Steph has entrusted me to be here with y'all not only another morning, but it's Freestyle Friday. Y'all know how we say in the streets, y'all know how we give it up on Friday morning, right? But where have y'all been all week? Have y'all been here all week? Have y'all? Monday through yesterday. Now, we weren't on Wednesday, but yesterday was Therapeutic Thursday, and we were talking about some very interesting things. We started off with our health tips. We actually started off yesterday with a recap from a health tip that God gave to us through Pastor Steph back in December of last year, and that was about how we keep our bed linen clean. Now, I had a photo up as I was talking about this thing yesterday, and I kept getting requests to take it down because the picture was looking very, very disturbing. However, I had to make sure that I put that up, okay, because it was just a whole lot that we need to make sure we remember in regards to cleaning our linen, keeping it clean. Real quick, I'm just hit on a few points because few things I had to be reminded of. All right, so making sure that you wash your sheets at least once a week. Making sure that if you have pets, if you have allergies or asthma, if you sweat heavily overnight, wash your sheets at least twice a week. Sheets are populated with a whole lot of bacteria, and this is one of the tips that really did it for me yesterday, y'all. Not only are our sheets populated with a lot of bacteria, but they are populated with 17,000 more bacterial subtypes than our toilet bowl. That part. Yes. Not changing your sheets regularly will help for dirt and grease to build up, which will irritate your skin and your scalp and cause that nasty, musty smell. Make sure you keep your mattress fresh. I recommended yesterday, if you do not own a mattress cover, make sure you go out and purchase one. Not now, right now. Whether you go to Marshall's, well, that's supposed to be patronizing Target, Marshall's, Burlington, Walmart, Amazon, get yourself a mattress cover. It helps you to preserve your mattress. And you do have to wash your mattress cover as well. But it definitely will help to preserve the longevity of your mattress. And mattresses are expensive, especially good quality ones. So you might want to get that mattress cover, okay? Make sure you shower before getting into bed. That's something that I make sure I do, because the thought of just taking outside and putting it in my bed, and we cannot go around every single germ, every single bit of bacteria, but we can definitely do our part in making sure that we keep as much of it away from our bed as possible. They gave us a couple of consequences for not regularly washing your sheets and changing them. We shed hair, we shed skin cells, saliva, buildup of dirt, sweat, and grime. Again, that will cause rashes and other skin issues. And if you do not sleep alone, you have to wash your sheets even more. Even if you mandate that they shower before they get in the bed as well, that's still 2 people. 2 sets of dead skin cells, 2 sets of scalp shedding, 2 sets of possible saliva on pillowcases. And I said yesterday, I don't share no pillows. I don't care how much I love you. I'm close to you. This is your special pillow, and this is my special pillow. Okay? That's how we wrapped up our health tips yesterday. Our news was rather interesting yesterday, where we covered how Ozempic is being sued and that they are, wait, I want to get how they phrased it. They are the highest within recent years. They're facing one of the largest pharmaceutical legal battles in recent years. Over 2,000 lawsuits, y'all. Why? Ozempic was originally designed to treat type 2 diabetes, but because it helped people lose so much weight, people were buying it just for the weight loss, and now people are suffering from vision loss and intestinal blockage and gastrointestinal issues and gallstone issues. It's just so much. So you got to make sure that you're taking these medications for the original purpose. We spoke about the young football player. Wait, let me get his name again. Tyler Lockett, who kept his promise and vowed to God that he would not indulge and engage in any form or any level of sex until he got married. So he did not get married until he was 30 years old. Once he got there, he said he was able to cash in on that. He was able to cash in on that, but it was very, very important for him to not only do that for his relationship with God, but to also share it. And we were so happy that he did when we spoke, myself as well as the Due Time crew, because again, especially young people, that's not an easy accomplishment. And especially in the sports world, y'all already know. All right, we went over the wife, oh my goodness, who was making the TikTok videos about how depressed she was because her husband was suffering from a severe brain cancer. And she said, you know what? I am determined to get back to a level of normalcy, me, my children, as well as my husband. And I don't know what kind of normal or murder-suicide plot is, but that's exactly what she did. She shot herself in the head, the 2 babies in the head, and shot her husband. And unfortunately, now none of them are here. And the question that popped up was, did social media fail her? Because she, a few times, was going on making these videos stating how she was feeling, and the articles didn't say anything about anyone reaching out, trying to assist. So we have a responsibility for those of us who follow people on social media, for those of us who have followers on social media. It's not just so we can scroll. Okay, it's because we have a purpose and a duty to each other, despite what you may think. All right, but we are here. That was yesterday for Therapeutic Thursday. We are here for Freestyle Friday, where we do whatever we want. And we are here with the Due Time men on today. And you know, today we get into our celebrity news, our celebrity trivia, our celebrity everything, as much as we can divulge our celebrity topics, if the topics surround the celebrities. But make sure you go grab your healthy breakfast. Remember, if you're drinking hot tea, coffee, make sure you eat something before you put that on your stomach. Make sure you dial a friend, text a friend, DM a friend, let them know that it's Due Time with Pastor Steph, featuring me, Shontyce, is on. And whatever you do, do not go away, because we will be right back.
Are you shocked to learn the Kentucky Derby's first champions were black? Their victories shaped a sport, and then they vanished from its pages. Let's set the record straight. In 1875, at the very first Kentucky Derby, 13 out of 15 jockeys were black. Oliver Lewis, a name you ought to know, sprinted to victory. These riders weren't just athletes, they were icons, skilled, disciplined, revered. But as horse racing gained fame, racism reared its ugly head. Owners and racetracks shut black jockeys out using threats, violence, and outright bans. By the 1920s, the sport they built no longer welcomed them. Their erasure wasn't a matter of talent, it was a matter of prejudice. Today, their legacy is being dusted off and celebrated. Honoring pioneers like Oliver Lewis isn't just about sport, it's about justice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Freestyle Friday! It's kind of nippy again this Friday. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but in the fall and the winter, I have a few favorite hoodies, a few favorite sweaters. This is one of my favorite sweaters right here. This is almost like a long cardigan. If I could put the camera down, you would see it go almost to my ankles. It is very warm, but doesn't make me too hot. You know, sometimes you feel a little nippy, then you feel a little warm. I don't have to keep taking it off and on. So I actually love this sweater. But I'm still a little annoyed I have to wear a sweater in August. It's still August, y'all. But you know what? Giving God thanks, I'm able to experience the weather, because the people who are in the grade, they don't know what the weather is. They won't know. They'll never know the weather again. So we're going to give God thanks that we're on this side of the grade. Amen. 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 But we have to start off with our morning check-ins, y'all. Who is in the room with me? Were y'all in the room with us yesterday morning? Come on, y'all got to be here. It's Freestyle Friday, y'all. Who we got? Good morning, Ketty. Good morning. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And again, as we stated yesterday, Ketty, I know you got your coffee. I didn't make my coffee this morning because sometimes I like to just sip and chill. I don't want to be talking, but I may have to, start joining you during the show. But then I'm gonna need another cup after, so I don't know. Can't drink too much coffee. Good morning, Terrence. Good morning. He says, good morning, all my beautiful people. Yes, it is a beautiful morning. Who else we got in the room? Good morning, Serge. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So again, with it being Freestyle Friday, I love every day of the week, y'all. I love every day of the week that we have here on It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. I will never forget when Pastor Steph came to the congregation and asked us our thoughts on how she should itemize each day, give each day a topic. And we have Shaking the Monday Morning Blues. You're just coming out of the weekend. Sometimes you need to shake some blues. We have Let's Talk About It Tuesday, Church Folk Day. That's the day Pastor Steph engages with the pastors, the Due Time crew pastors. We have Wow Wednesday, and I'll never forget Vivian came up with that one because Pastor Steph is always saying wow. And Vivian had no idea that she would be assisting and facilitating Wednesdays with her socially conscious segment, and she helps Pastor Steph to keep that wow and the wow Wednesday, okay? Then we have Therapeutic Thursday, where we highlight every form of health, mental, emotional, physical, as well as spiritual health. And sometimes Pastor Steph will have our nutritionist on, Miss Athena Dent Eileen. Sometimes she'll have on Gertie. Sometimes she'll have on, oh my gosh, what's the other gentleman's name? Now Gertie specializes in hair care. Yes, she is a Christian woman who, oh my goodness. And I love how Pastor Steph does this because it forces people to profess their Christianity, not only their craft, not only their talents, because a lot of times we love to hide just behind the talent, and we wouldn't have these talents and gifts and knowledge and discernment and wisdom if it wasn't for the Lord. So I love how Gertie labels herself as a Christian hair technician. You know, she doesn't only do hair, she studied hair. She gives us some phenomenal hair care tips, what we should do with our natural hair, our locks, those of us who have locks, those of us who still process our hair. She's amazing. So we have to make sure that we tune in for that as well. She had some financial gentlemen on who gave also when men of God. So therapeutic. And then we have Freestyle Friday, y'all, where again, we can have a different selection of topics and news. It doesn't necessarily have to be confined, but it always ends up somehow still coming together. Why? Because that's God. That's God. Okay, but again, we mainly highlight celebrity news and we talk to the men of the Due Time crew. Okay. Good morning, Anika. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Anika, our tech director who holds it down and keeps us rocking, keeps us busy here on YouTube and Facebook Live. Ketty says, yes, I have my coffee. Well, Ketty, get ready to keep sipping on that coffee and taking these notes because the trivia that we have this morning is kind of interesting and entertaining. Good morning, Lady Tamika. Good morning. Thank you for being on. Yes, it is a great day to be alive. Thanking God that we are alive. Okay, so we have our celebrity trivia this morning. And the list I wanted to highlight and go over, and I would love to get each person's feedback. So our faithful viewers, our beautiful, loyal, faithful viewers, let's go. Let's get this going. We are discussing Black celebrities who've had plastic surgery work done in Black Hollywood. Yes, y'all. We have to make sure that we're highlighting this. Why? Because I'm so tired of seeing, especially our Black actresses. Like, come on. I kept staring at Nia Long's face and I'm like, I know that face. I'm saying it like that's my daughter, right? I'm like, I know that face. I've been looking at that face since John Singleton's oh my goodness, what's the name of the movie? What's the name of the movie? With Ricky! What's the name of the movie, y'all? With Ice Cube and Morris Chestnut. Why am I drawing a blank? And Cuba Gooding Jr., that movie. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. Oh my gosh, y'all know the throwback late 80s, early 90s movie. Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, I've been looking at that face since then. Always flawless, always gorgeous. And she got her lips done, y'all. Why? Now I do remember reading an article a couple of years ago where she stated that she battled a lot with her appearance in Black Hollywood and trying to keep up. And I'm like, you? Wait, I need y'all to see my face. You, Nia Long? Do you have Nia Long? God, please make sure Nia Long gets to see this, even if it's just this part. Do you know how many women melt? Women, and not sexually. Yes, Boys in the Hood. Thank you. Why? How did I draw a blank on that? Thank you, Anika. Yes, Boys in the Hood. Nia Long. Do you know how many women melt when you walk in the room, and not melt because they want to sleep with you, melt because they admire your beauty? I saw Nia Long in person. I used to work at the Paradise Theater in the Bronx. And they used to host Black Girls Rock there. The first Black Girls Rock, I worked a few of them. The first one, before Tracy Ellis Ross and Regina King started hosting it, Nia Long hosted the first one. And in addition to her being a midget, she is short. She is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Like, we see her in movies, we see her on TV, and it's like, wow, she is pretty, she's gorgeous, whatever word you would like to use. Seeing her in person, and she had her shortcut, and I was just like, oh my gosh, she is gorgeous. Why did you touch your lips? You know, and sometimes the flaws is what blesses us with our beauty, and I'm not going to speak on the other person because she might come up on this list. But real quick, let's dive into this list. Okay, we have Nene Nene Leakes, y'all know her from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She has gone on record and confirmed she's received a nose job, breast augmentation, liposuction, and a BBL, which is the Brazilian butt lift. Y'all know what she looked like? I really wanted to be able to like post this up, but like their photos. If I can, I will. Make y'all, what we doing? What are we doing? Good morning, Diallo. Thank you for joining us this morning. All right, the next one is Vanessa Williams. Y'all know Vanessa Williams. So there's two Vanessa Williams. There's Vanessa Williams, the singer/actress who played in Eraser opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger. Vanessa Williams, who played in Soul Food, the movie. And then you have the Vanessa L. Williams, who played in Soul Food, the series. That's the dark skin one. She played in Candyman. She played Keisha in New Jack City. They're both gorgeous. One is just dark skin, one is light skin. One was a single, one wasn't. But this Vanessa Williams, the light skin one who played in Soul Food, the movie, she started out as a pageant girl. And I just found out that there was this whole scandal because she was in a pornography movie. I had no idea that was why she got her crown taken. I had no idea. Okay, so it says, though she admitted to not getting a facelift, fillers, or Botox anymore, Vanessa Williams says she does get a microcurrent and nanocurrent technology. Now, what is that? And this took place back in she stated this back in 2024. I want to look like myself. I want people to know this face has lived. That's kind of where I am at this point at 61 years old. Wait, hold on. Let's see if we can pull this up. Microcurrent and nanocurrent. Let's see. We can't be talking about these things we don't know what we're talking about. So she says she's received microcurrent and nanocurrent. So microcurrent uses higher low frequency currents for instant facial muscle toning. Okay. And lifting. While nanocurrent uses softer, even lower currents that mimic the body's natural electrical signals to stimulate cellular repair, boost ATP, and promote collagen production for long-term skin health. All right. So as I'm reading this is reminding me of this whole butt vacuum they've been promoting on Instagram mainly. I'm sure they've been doing it, of course, the social media platforms, but I've mainly been seeing it on Instagram. So she hasn't necessarily gotten the surgery, but she's been using the suctions on her face to help. Collagen helps to keep your skin tight, So, and I remember watching something where Mia Long was on the panel. She said the first thing to age, especially for women, is your neck. So she puts cream on her neck. So I guess you're getting all of this sucked up, and yeah. So that's what Vanessa Williams got done. Cardi B. Now, anyone who followed Cardi B from her ranting as a stripper on social media to her making it, or loving hip hop to her making it, to become a rapper, to watching her now, y'all have witnessed the transformation. So Cardi B received breast implants when she was 19, before later getting breast augmentation surgery and liposuction after she had her daughter. She also got rhinoplasty for her nose and butt injections, but she removed the butt injections. I actually just saw a video of Cardi B yesterday. She was at some event where they had to dress up. What butt reduction did she get? Because that butt was still looking kind of big. Okay, we have Kelly Rowland. Y'all know Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. She had plastic surgery. Hold on, in 2008, Kelly Rowland opened up about getting breast implants, going from an A cup to a B. She said, quote, "I was sick of not fitting into my tops. There was this one really hot House of Darion top. Y'all know House of Darion. That's the first clothing line that Beyonce put out. I just wanted to fill that out. It is a decision I made for myself. I like it, and that's all that counts. For young people, think about it before you just jump off and do something you may regret later, end quote. Now, I know that any form, and where y'all in these comments? I need y'all in these comments, because I know I'm not the only one with thoughts on these things. Now, Kelly Rowland says that she got breast implants where she went from an A cup to a B cup. Now, I'm not big either, but I think I'd be really sad if I was an A cup. Because that's like you just got the dots. That's it. Just the dots. And even if you don't want to look like you about to tip over, you still want to look good, presentable, especially as an entertainer. And she can actually sing, Thanks be to God for her talents. Like, she actually has talents. She can act as well. Did y'all see Mia Copa on Netflix? Tyler Perry movie? She was really good in that. So it's not like she only has her looks to rely on. However, in the entertainment industry, unfortunately, looks are everything. And even for yourself, but her having the money to do these things is probably why she was able to do it, which is why I thank God sometimes. I thank you, Lord, I didn't have any money in certain parts of my life because, yeah. All right, who we got next? We got SZA. Y'all know SZA, the singer who just started a movie opposite Keke Palmer. What's the name of the movie? Let me pull up the name of the movie. I didn't just see it. I saw it earlier this year. One of them days. It's like the female version to Friday. Really good movie. It stars SZA and Keke Palmer. It's now streaming on Amazon Prime as well as Netflix. Go watch it. Terrence says, that's the raisins. Right. When you have an A cup, you just got the raisins. And it's like, all right, come on. What are we doing? But yeah, singer SZA has been candid about getting her BBL, the Brazilian butt lift, saying, quote, I'm so mad I did that. I gained all this weight from being immobile while recovering and trying to preserve the fat. It was just so stupid, but who cares? You got a BBL, you realize you didn't need it, end quote. And that's a lot of them. I remember K. Michelle. She has to have a few reconstructive surgeries because of the butt injection she got, and it started messing with the mobility of her legs. And was she one of the women who started getting the holes in her legs? Like, it started to eat away. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But she kept saying, she kept going back to get it bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know why, because how tall are you, girl? That girl is short. You still have to make it make sense. That's why I elaborated a little with Kelly Rowland. Like, no, we should not be getting surgery. But Kelly Rowland is one of the few that got surgery that looks normal. Like, if you look at her chest area, it looks like she was born with that. Nothing over the top, nothing too. And that's when I'm like, all right, y'all, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? All right. We can go touch on a few more. Jasmine Guy. Y'all know Jasmine Guy. Dwayne. Whitley from A Different World. Her most iconic role she's ever played. Okay, so she says she's received a facelift at a medical aesthetic boutique in the ATL. She says, quote, from our initial consultation to the follow-up visits, I felt truly supported and confident in your expertise, your professionalism, attentiveness, and thoughtful approach have made a significant difference in my treatments, end quote. So I guess that's what she was saying to the facility. But have y'all seen Jasmine Guy recently? Don't look like she really got anything done. It's just my thinking. My opinion. Terrence says they do surgery because sex sells. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I kind of like wanted to be able to, but I wasn't sure exactly who I was going to pull up because I wanted to be able to showcase because they have before and after photos. And again, these girls are not ugly. You have Janet Jackson, where of course we know, they are the only family. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Brother Ainsley. Good morning. Looking forward to speaking to you in a few. Brother Ainsley says she needs help. You talking about SZA or you talking about Kelly Rowland? Which one are you talking about? But now Janet or you talking about Janet Jackson. Now, I always say it's crazy how everyone goes and gets this plastic surgery, but then everyone comes out looking the same. Oh, Jasmine Guy. Okay, brother Ainsley, when we come to you, you're going to have to let us know why you say Jasmine Guy needs help. But now the Jacksons, they already naturally, all the kids look alike. Like, all of them look like the father. Like, he just spit them out. Like, he carried them. And then they all got plastic surgery, and they still all look alike. The only difference with Michael Jackson was because of the vitiligo, his complexion changed. Other than that, they all looked alike. Okay, so it's saying that Janet Jackson got her nose done at 16 years old. But she's not saying that she's got any, she's actually denying getting any other work done. I heard rumors back in, I think, either late 90s or early 2000s that she got one of her ribs removed so she could keep that hourglass look. And of course, we're going to always hear things true or false, but I don't know. So she's saying she only got her nose done when she was 16. I don't know. Terrence says it's only for the moment because in the future it will become nasty. And that's actually what someone said to me recently. Like, when everyone wakes up and realizes or decides that these bodies ain't it, what's going to happen then? Because once upon a time, the natural Halle Berry, Aaliyah body and look was in. And then all of a sudden now, BBLs and breast implants and augmentations, all that. Okay, they're mentioning Lil' Kim. That is absolutely no secret at all. She went on record stating she's trying to look like how each boyfriend said she should look. Okay, so it says she started her plastic surgery back in 2004 after suffering domestic abuse from her then boyfriend. So she got some work done initially to cover it up, but it continued to progress from there. She got more nose work done, cheek implants, lip injections, breast implants. Cheek implants? Cheek implants. What are cheek implants? Yeah. Lil' Kim was gorgeous to me. I don't know. Kanye West. Okay, hold up now. Back in 2018, he revealed that he got liposuction 2 years prior. He says, quote, I had plastic surgery because I was trying to look good for y'all. I got liposuction because I didn't want y'all to call me fat, like y'all called Rob Kardashian at the wedding and made him fly home before me and Kim got married. I didn't want y'all to call me fat, so I got liposuction, end quote. Wow. And it's funny because I was actually thinking about Matthew McConaughey. Y'all know him. He's the guy who played the lawyer, Samuel L. Jackson's lawyer in A Time to Kill. He played in the movie Lincoln Lawyer. Pretty good actor. Why did he get his face done? He was gorgeous. Why did he get his face done? Why? So it's not only women. It's not only women that get these things done. Okay, so Terrence says, yes, in the past, Lil' Kim is a beautiful lady. Absolutely. Look at The Weeknd now. He looks like a whole year. All right, y'all. So for those who don't know, there's an artist called The Weeknd. And Terrence is saying The Weeknd, he looks like a whole year. Sorry, I mean a decade. You are silly. Oh, great. So you're saying that he looked old? I stopped listening to his music a little while ago, and especially after, I think it was earlier this year, I saw a clip of him at his concert, and he had the name Satan posted up on the screen behind him, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm really done. Like, I'm really, really, really done. But no, I gotta look at his face. I haven't really noticed. I can't. So of course they have Wendy Williams here. We'll go over about 2 more before we get into our news. Wendy Williams, and she was really pretty before natural look. She said she never got a facelift, but she got breast implants, a tummy tuck, liposuction, and Botox. This lady got something done to her face. Wait, this one I am gonna post. Hold on. Like, I hate this term, but this is one of the times you gotta say, sis, who are you trying to fool? And I'm pretty sure some of you are familiar with how Wendy Williams looked originally. Listen, you got the work done. You got the work done. What is she admitting to? She's admitting to liposuction, tummy tuck, breast implants, and Botox. You got more than that done. We're going to see if we can pull this photo up. I feel like my friend, he's always talking about somebody trying to play. While we're pulling that up, Terrence says that's why she passed out, because she probably smelled like dead skin. All her surgery is like dead skin to me. It's like, come on. Like, we ain't got to lie, Craig. We ain't got to lie. Let's see if we can pull this up here. Okay. Let me make this bigger. Now, I saw her. If you watch Martin, she was on real quick. She didn't have any lines at all or anything. But watch the episode of Martin. It's in season 1 where Kim Fields was featured in it. And they were at like this radio convention type thing. And the people were getting checked in. And the guy Wendy Williams was with said her name, so you'll know it's her. Very, very natural looking. Pretty. That's what this looks like here on the left. And then we know this face here on the right. We know that face. Girl, you ain't got to lie to us. You got all that work done. And unfortunately, when we age, it just don't. Someone says, see, Cardi B don't have a man now because she smelled and looked what happened when Nicki Minaj butt fell. It's only good for the moment. Give it a couple of years. Nobody's gonna want you no more. Yes, I actually heard. So Cardi B was married to, what's his name from Migos? The rapper. Offset. And they broke up and she started dating that football player. And he just stated recently, not that long ago, how her behind was smelling. Yes, thank you, Terrence. She was married to Offset. How her behind was smelling. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, they weren't dating all that long, and I didn't know that there was any turbulence. Like, they were just at the basketball game together, I think the playoff, wherever they were at. And next thing I know, they're not together anymore. The next thing I know, he's talking about how her booty stink. I didn't know anything, Terrence, about Nicki Minaj's butt falling. I didn't know. Now, I did see a clip of, what's that child name? Keisha Cole performing not that long ago, and she had butt pads. Y'all, a lot of butt pads was falling off the shorts. It's like, listen, some of us just don't have a big booty, and it's fine. It's fine. All the money you have, all the creativity you can have, wear something that'll help it make it. As long as your butt don't look like your back. I don't know. That's when she was with Meek Mill. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I never knew anything about that. She wasn't with Meek Mill all that long. But yes, so when we're talking about Black Hollywood, we're talking about all of the surgeries that these people are having. There are a few other people on this list. Oh, wait, real quick, Patti LaBelle. She went with Stephanie Mills to get her nose done. She says, quote, if I hadn't seen her, I wouldn't have done it. But seeing something in front of your face makes you say, well, I can look different also. It's not that she looked better with her nose done, nor that I looked better. It just made us feel better about ourselves. So that was something that happened in my younger years that I'm happy I did. So she just also snitched on Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills got her nose done too. Why? Terrence says, I never liked that type of stuff. I'm an all natural guy. And a lot of men have said that. A lot of men have stated that. Like, listen, I don't care nothing about no BBLs, no butt lifts. As long as you don't look sloppy, I believe that's what men care about. But we got the men on today. So that's one of the things we want to talk to the men about. Okay. So let's quickly dive into some celebrity news. I have a couple of interesting stories. Okay, so we got here, everyone knows Megan Good and her now husband, Jonathan Majors. There has been a whole lot of controversy in regards to this marriage. It was like she was married to Devon Franklin for 11 years. They put out this post about how they're breaking up, which was bogus. Y'all remember Pastor Steph covered that story. They put that out. They got divorced. And now all of a sudden she's with Jonathan Majors. All of a sudden they're engaged. And all of a sudden they're married. So there's been a lot of talk on how Megan Good has been financially supporting Jonathan Majors. Now, Megan Good is 43 years old. Jonathan Majors is 34. I didn't realize he was that much younger than her. Almost 10 years younger than her. Okay, so they're saying that Megan Good has taken on numerous expenses for him, including a $75,000 bill for dog training. It's something about dog lovers. You know how Pastor Steph always says it's something about mothers and their sons. For me, it's something about dog lovers that just rub me wrong. Either they're letting these huge horses they call dogs roam the street without a leash, and it's just a puppy, don't worry about it. Or you see them in the cart, in the supermarkets, in the bank, because it only matters to them where their dogs are. And now you're paying a almost $80,000 bill for training. Is the dog able to cook and do laundry? And is he doing real estate? He got a job? What are you training the dog to do for $80,000? Okay, I digress. A close source to them says, quote, Megan pays for everything. They really wanted this dog and she got stuck paying that $75,000 training bill. Like, that's crazy. That's stupid. And well, if they wanted the dog, she didn't get stuck paying it. I mean, I don't know if they decided to split the bill, but Kay is saying that Megan Good is also covering Jonathan Majors' child support payments from a previous relationships. And that is raising concerns for the people close to her that it may be putting her in some financial strain. Now, this is now making me think, did he have alternative motives? Because again, I didn't realize the age difference. They're about 10 years apart, almost 9 years, 10 years apart. You ain't been with this man that long. You got with this man in the highlight of this whole controversial issue with the women assaults, going back and forth to court with him. Now, you could have been rocking with him a whole lot longer than the cameras have been on y'all. That's possible as well. I don't know. You know, life is hard enough on our own for me to now be taking on lawsuits, harassment cases, child support payments. This woman has no children. And it's something about when a single person gets with someone who has children. Like, in my opinion, you need to make sure you're stepping to him or to her correct, because they don't have to deal with this. It's not even like, okay, I have children, you have children, but my situation is just a little more strenuous than yours. No, they have absolutely no attachments. Terrence says love makes you do crazy things. I don't know if that's love then, because when we read what love really is in 1 Corinthians 13, I mean, reading it will make you go crazy sometimes, because it's deprogramming us from the stupid street love that we learn to know and live by. But living by that love doesn't make you crazy. We make us crazy. Okay. Yeah, they're saying they don't know if she's going to be able to pay. Oh, wait, let me read the quote. Another close source to them says, quote, "No one knows what Megan sees in this guy. If things keep up this way, she may not be able to pay her mortgage," end quote. How you go? This is a child star. This is a child star. How you go from being a child star? I don't know how much money she's worth, but we've never heard of her being in any type of financial struggle. Doesn't mean she hasn't been, but if she has, it ain't never made the headlines until now. So it's saying during an interview, Megan Good reflected on her decision to be with Jonathan Majors despite warnings from her friends. She says, quote, "At the end of the day, one thing I know is that I can always look in the mirror when I trust my spirit, when I trust God, when I ask God, and when I move to the beat of my own drum. I want to be responsible for the choices I make and want to live the life that I want to live," end quote. Now, we'll get into that when we talk to the men. So real quick, they're highlighting that Jonathan Majors has struggled a whole lot since this whole conviction for the assault and harassment cases. His legal troubles has caused him to lose out on a lot, including the role in the Avengers. Marvel Studios dropped him. He went from being worth $20 million to $500,000. But yet y'all take on an $80,000 dog training bill. See, this is the type of thing. And where's the person? I keep going, hold on, let me see if this person is watching, because I just got finished having a back and forth with someone about another celebrity couple who supposedly has all this money, and they just refinanced their mansion. And I'm on this end reading this like, if you paid for your mansion already, whether you straight bought it out, whether you made mortgage payments each month, why are you now taking on another bill? And the person was like, oh, well, maybe, they're going to invest it because, you're taught don't use your own money to invest in it. That is using your own money. You paid for the house is paid for. And now you're going to take out additional payments. That's still your money. Just because you're not going to the bank and literally taking it out all at once, that's still your money. You're just now paying it in monthly increments. Why people be thinking I'm slow? That just come from someone, I don't have my own mortgage. But from everything I've learned living under someone who has her own mortgage, isn't that what happens? We have homeowners on here. We're going to get into all this with the men. Anika says some folks like being in relationships when they probably need to be alone and healed. Yes, because there was no time in between Megan Good being married to Devon Franklin to now her not only being with Jonathan Majors, but being married to him. And they do now have this holistic health and fitness brand, Honor Culture, that they just recently launched. And it's a lifestyle movement of physical fitness, mental health, and wellness. And it's going to include on their wellness app, digital content, fitness apparel, so on and so forth. Their tagline is honor your healing. Wow. How ironic. Honor your story and it reflects their commitment to holistic well-being and personal growth. So I don't know if this is their way in earning some extra revenue as well. We don't really know her to be a fitness guru, but you know, he may be. I don't know. This is just I don't know, y'all. Put your thoughts in, please. We're gonna cover a couple more before we speak to the gentleman. All right. Well, we do want to celebrate actor Samuel L. Jackson and his beautiful wife. They are celebrating 45 years of marriage. Those are, I want to make sure I hit on some things. So you have Samuel L. Jackson and his wife, Tanya Richardson. She's an actress as well. I believe she does a whole lot more plays than movies, but she's been in movies as well. They actually got together when they were in college. I had no idea. They both posted on Instagram celebrating 45 years of love in the Canes. Is that how you pronounce it? Cannes, Canes. We have followed God's path together and have received blessings overflowing. This is Black love. We gotta make this a little bigger. This is beautiful. Okay. Tyrese commented on their Instagram post. He put, "Show us how it's done. Jackson's happy love, happy life, inspired. Love wins." And this is actually one of the Black power couples in Hollywood that have been able to maintain their marriage with both of them being in the limelight. So it said a lot of tolerance because everybody's got flaws and not giving up when it would be easy to give up. I've done stuff in my marriage that's crazy, you know. She has to in her head or whatever in reality, but you got to go. Is that a breakup offense, or is it just that we need to spend a little time together and get some understanding about it? And that's what Samuel L. Jackson put. He also says, or there are certain things that you learn to ignore about people that she's learned to ignore about me. And one of the things she had to accept is that I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go to work all the time until, you know, it's time. In the beginning, we always said the most revolutionary thing that Black people could do was stay together, raise their children with the nucleus of having a father and a mother, since everybody likes to pretend that that's not the dynamic of the African-American family. And that was stated by the wife, LaTanya Richardson, that it's just children out here being raised by women. So they wanted to clear that up. Now, for those who don't know, this woman has stuck by Samuel L. Jackson through the things. If you saw his role in Spike Lee's Jungle Fever, that was like a real life scenario for him. He used to be on crack and he was on it bad. And when I just read the quote, like, she has to accept that I'm going to work, I really feel like after watching his work and his longevity, Samuel L. Jackson has never died out since he first started acting, and it is now how many years later, and he's still doing it. He's one of those actors, if you see his picture on the posting or read his name in the credits, you're gonna want to go see the movie. You don't know what the movie is about, you don't know what the movie is called, and that could have very well saved his life. But she stuck through it with him, y'all, through the drug addiction, through everything. I had no idea he went to college, that they met in college. So this is definitely, as Tyrese said, inspiring. You know, when you think about, we just got finished talking about Megan Good and how quickly she's moved on to husband number 2, and how quickly Devon Franklin has moved on to wife number 2. It ain't just her, but you know, this is what we're contending with. So congratulations to the Jacksons for 45 years of marriage. Congratulations, because sometimes I don't want to look at someone for 45 minutes. Amen? Amen. Okay, what else we have here? What else we have? All right, we have, y'all, we got 2 more, but 1 more we're going to bring our due time men on. Okay, we're going to stay in the theme of the celebrity. news before we bring. There is this whole back and forth that I didn't even know was a topic. I had no idea this was a thing. Okay, so there's this big thing on social media now. Who is the greatest? Beyonce or Michael Jackson? Are you kidding me? Is this really a conversation? So there is this woman, I forgot her name. I watched a little of the video. She was getting on my nerves. She is a CEO of a dating app. And she was on this podcast and they were conversing about who's the greatest entertainer. And she was just, so she must be a part of the Beehive because, and I don't understand, you know, my sister posted, she was like, y'all Beehive people are worse than Trump supporters. And they are. They're like the weed smokers. Y'all see how the weed smokers defend weed? That's how the Beehive defend her. It's like, listen, it's okay to not like her. Or it's okay to think she's okay and not think she's God. Like, it's fine. It's fine to say she's a pretty good, but they want you to say she is the mother of music. And oh my gosh. So now they're comparing Beyonce to Michael Jackson. And is she just as much or a bigger innovator than he was? And real quick, they listed some key differences in the two. So as far as commercial success, Michael Jackson's album, particularly Thriller, were unprecedented and unmatched. And it says Beyonce has also achieved remarkable commercial success, particularly within the streaming, of course, because there was no streaming back. So Michael Jackson's 500 million record sales surpassed Beyonce's 350 million, largely due to his long career. Right. Like, hello, come on. Cultural impact. Michael Jackson's groundbreaking work, particularly with his music videos like Thriller, redefined the pop culture and broke down racial barriers. And they're saying Beyonce has also made a significant cultural impact, especially through the Black feminist themes with projects like Lemonade. I don't think that can really be matched. I don't think. Ketty says Michael Jackson, of course. Yes, Ketty, you are a straight Michael Jackson fan, but you're not biased. Lady Tamika says, what? Michael Jackson has been out there since before he was even old enough to pay bills. Right. Sir says, I've never heard anyone pass away in Beyonce's concert like Michael Jackson. For real, y'all remember that? They would be at the Michael Jackson concert and it would have to have EMS on the scene because people would be passing out. Please, wait. Let's not give the Beehive any ideas. Let's not, because that'll be the next thing now. Now they acting like they passing out because Beyonce, now she gonna just do the stance. Y'all see this photo here? This is Michael Jackson. Remember how he would just stand on the stage? He wouldn't say anything yet. He wouldn't move, no nothing. He would just pop up out the floor on stage and bam, there he was. And they would be going crazy and falling out. Anika says, never, without Michael Jackson, there would be no Beyonce. Absolutely. There wouldn't be a Beyonce if there weren't a few people, if there was no Michael Jackson, if there was no Aaliyah, if there wouldn't be a Beyonce. Okay, Serge and Anika, Ketty agrees with you. Tevin says all celebrities do this stuff to uphold their image. That's all, and likes. Right. So now this is another way to get and keep clout. Okay, real quick, they're saying Grammy wins. Beyonce holds a record for the most Grammy wins with 35 awards to Michael Jackson's 13. However, the number of Grammy wins is not necessarily a definitive measure of artistic superiority, especially since we're learning how rigged these award shows are now. Like, let's be for real. Back then there was a lot more authenticity and genuineness. And I mean, it's always been shady. The music industry has always been shady, but it was a lot more authentic back in Michael Jackson's time. Okay, but let's bring on our men and see what they have to say about the celebrity trivia and news. Good morning, Brother Ainsley. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, you sounding like you on the radio for real with the mic and everything. I gotta upgrade it. I gotta call Pastor Steph. We need the microphones. We need the microphones. I'm mad now. How you doing? Wait, we can't hear you. Are you muted? Wait, I was just bigging your mic up and now went out.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
We're good. We're good.
okay. I was like, wait, I'm just bigging the mic up and it went out. Okay, so really quick, we're gonna highlight our trivia. We were speaking on Black Hollywood and all of the
Hmm.
celebrities, and it's not only female celebrities who have gotten this plastic surgery done. What are your thoughts on that? You know, they mentioned Cardi B, the rapper, and Leaks, the reality TV star from Housewives of Atlanta. They highlighted Patti LaBelle, and she called out Stephanie Mills. That's more from your era. What are your thoughts on this whole plastic surgery thing? Do you think a lot of it is needed?
No, of course not. It's straight vain. It's straight vain. It's just a Hollywood thing. Just a Hollywood
Mhm.
thing, and you see more a proliferation of it now because of the social media. We all have more access to be in the screen on our cell phones and stuff like that. But it is just straight vainness and whatnot. And I don't mind if you have to do any kind of surgery for medical reasons. Albeit you got to do what you got to do. You need to have a little bit of a weight. You got to the diet and exercise is not working. You got to have what you call it, the bypass. All right, you got to do what you got to do. But all this BBL, CDL, all this other stuff added and taken out, and that's just Hollywood because they're just, it's very superficial. It's all, about how you look in somebody else's eyes and somebody else's image and stuff like that. And so too often we trying to fit an image that's not real. It's really really superficial. And to me, I mean, our black women, yep. I mean, y'all good. Y'all good. Just all. I'm a all natural. You ain't got to do nothing. Don't make no changes. If you are A or triple Z cup, whatever you are, that's what it is.
Oh my God. Oh, wait, I'm still stuck on the CDLs, Brother Ainsley. I'm still stuck on the C. Maybe one of the other due time men can explain what the CDLs, I know what the BBLs are, but let's see if one of the other men know. Let's bring up Brother Al to the stage. Good morning, Brother Al.
Top of the morning, top of the morning.
How are you
Good
today?
morning, brother.
Hey, brother Ainsley, everything is everything. I'm
Oh,
All
off
right
from
now.
work. Everything's everything.
Oh, that feels good, right?
right?
Oh, yeah.
That's why we get the cheesy smile. Now, Brother Al, what are CDLs? Now I know what BBLs are, but what Brother Ainsley talk about the
I just
CDL?
said that.
But listen, no, because see, they will come out with that next, so you better go and copyright it and patent it. But now, Brother Al, you're in the film, the theater industry. Do you see that? Because you're more on the indie side. Do you see that going on as well? Because the list we read from this morning was the mainstream. The A-list celebrities, the Vanessa Williams and Stephanie Mills and Kelly Rowland. What are your thoughts on what you see from more of the indie side?
They crazy. They absolutely are insane. That's what I would say because, it's like Brother Ainsley said, if you got a medical condition and you need to do something, fine. But just doing it, man, it's just ridiculous. That's why when I met Tamika, I pulled on her nose, her ear, her lips, make sure everything was good.
You know what?
They got to make sure everything was good. But I think it's ridiculous. And some of them, a perfect example. I don't know if anybody ever seen Nicki Minaj before she got real popular. She was
Yeah.
very pretty. She was
Yes.
very pretty. And I look at her now, and Lil Kim. Oh my God, I didn't even know who she was.
Mhm.
And these were pretty young ladies before they did all this mess to themselves.
Yes.
And I just think it's ridiculous. And yeah, I see it. I have done shows and stuff with people, and they just feel like, yo, I do whatever I need to do. I'm like, wow, like you serious? Whatever I need to do to get the part. I'm like, even sleep with the producer. Like I said, whatever I need to do. I'm like, wow, it's
So the
crazy.
low budget, wait. Are we talking about the indie things, the low budget movies and the stage plays?
Yes,
You're gonna
yes,
be the producer for those?
yes. I'm telling you, yes.
Oh my
Even
god.
the low budget ones, you got people just they want to
Yeah,
be
they
out
do
there
that.
so bad. To it's ridiculous. They'll do anything, and I'm just sitting there saying, man, I ain't doing anything. So I hope and pray y'all don't come to me and say, well, Al, I need you to do the scene with this guy. What scene? Kissing? I'm like, thank you for even saying that to me. Bro, let's step outside. Let's step outside for a second. I need to talk to you.
I cannot. Oh no, we gonna pray. We gonna pray that's
Yeah,
not the thing.
but
Goodness
but
gracious.
it's crazy. And the
Oh,
CDL, the only thing I know about CDL is the license to drive
the
the
voice
truck.
is right. Oh my gosh. Well, let's bring on our pastor Jeff. But as we bring him on, we do have a few comments. We have Terrence who says no Chris Brown either. Okay, Terrence, please further elaborate. Lady Tamika says, how many other artists have taken snips of his music for stardom? Oh, talking about Michael Jackson. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, that's what that too. Was just about to say he got his Barry White voice. Oh, brother Al, you got your Barry White voice on this morning. Lady Tamika says, laughing my butt off. CDL, that's a new one by me. Oh, my stomach. Maybe it's CBL for his chest butt lift. Chest butt lift. Yes, because they're getting. I saw that on Botched. They've had men get work done, adding muscles to their arm. It's just crazy. So Tamika says, "Okay, you're welcome, Ainsley. I got you." So we'll come back to the other comments once we highlight those stories really quickly. But let's bring on our Pastor Jeff. Good morning, Pastor Jeff.
Good morning. How are
How
you?
are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thank you for joining us this morning. So, Pastor Jeff, really quick, we're speaking on this list that we went over this morning in regards to these Black celebrities, men and women, who have been getting this plastic surgery done. And 99.9% of the time, it's not needed. It's just something that they think they need to get to keep up with the Black Hollywood look. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I got a lot of thoughts on it. It's an epidemic, and these women don't even realize those booties don't even look natural. I mean, I'm a man that like natural, and I mean, they be having these little skinny legs and big old backside, and it's not even proportionate. It's just like crazy. And,
Yes.
And then that girl that plays on Sisters.
Which one?
I can't think of her name, but
It's not LaToya Luckett. It's not Kadeen Ellis.
No, I mean it might be. No, it's not LaToya. Is it LaToya Luckett?
LaToya Luckett is the one from Destiny's Child.
She's the light skinned one.
No.
Okay.
So you may be speaking on Kadeen Ellis.
She was real pretty when the Sisters first came out. Now she looked like a cartoon character, and it's like, why did she do that to herself? You know. And I'm but in defense for some of them, you know, like some of the women, like from my past, they had something wrong with their breast, or they was shriveled up,
right?
And then they went and got it, and I was like, okay. You know, they needed it.
Right.
But most of them, they just messing themselves up. I don't like it.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have 3 men on here who have stated the natural look is more than okay for me. So women, if you're listening, you have 3, they're not old, but older men who are confirming that the natural look is fine. You don't have to go get the butt lifts, the butt shots, the butt pads, because they always end up either falling out or sagging. Let's bring on, oh goodness, let's bring on Pastor KL. Good morning, Pastor KL.
Why we gotta bring on old goodness? Yes.
That's your new name, oh goodness.
First of all, I'm appalled that you're asking men of God stuff about booties. I'm appalled.
Yeah, and but they need to hear from men of God because they're doing it in the church too. Vivian and I, with all due respect with Shontyce and V, Vivian brought up a piece that she covered about a few first ladies who have gotten BBLs. And it's like, what are y'all doing? What is happening that y'all not allowing us to stay in the world? You're not integrating it into the church. So Pastor KL, I'll ask you from that angle. Have you witnessed any of that in the church?
I have, and I want to tell the people of God that little booties matter too. Little booties matter. You don't have to have a big booty in God. Little booties are just as anointed. One thing that I've learned, Angie and I have been friends for over 30 years. Over 30 years. If me and Angie ever went to a club, ever went to a restaurant, me and Angie never had to worry about, we gonna try to holler at the same girl. They never had to worry about that. Because he know I wanted a stick, he wanted somebody thick. So, there's somebody for everybody. Little booties matter. Stop doing all that stuff.
Oh my goodness. Well, not only does the natural overrank everything here with the D-Time men, but the little body parts matter too. And as Pastor Kale said, they are just as anointed, if not more, because they're authentic. So you don't have to go and get all of this done. Okay, Terrence says, even Lala, Melo's ex-wife, she looks horrible. Lala Anthony. She is currently playing on The Chi. Well, The Chi season just ended. But The Chi, as well as BMF, she looks horrific. Between the BBL and the face work, there was nothing wrong with her face. She looks like a skeleton. Because a lot of times they forget you have to keep a certain type of body weight and stuff to now go with the adjustments, the modifications that you're making. So already the surgery makes your face look like you sunk in and it look like she lost some weight. She looks crazy. She almost looks like one of the Jacksons, like LaToya Jackson. She looks horrible. Okay, Lady Tamika is laughing at stick and thick. That's a new caption. And Anika is laughing as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I would love to get the input from you men of God in regards to this whole issue with Megan Good and her husband, Jonathan Majors, Pastor Steph. She did follow that story for a while in regards to the assault and all of the other cases with Jonathan Majors. Him assaulting the girl, and supposedly she lied, but then supposedly it was the truth, and whatever the case may be. So close sources to them are really concerned about Megan Good's financial state because first they don't know what she sees in him. I didn't realize there's a 10-year difference between the two. And she has been financially supporting him, paying for an $80,000 dog training bill, plus the child support from a previous relationship. And now they're saying they don't even know if she can comfortably pay her mortgage. But meanwhile, she's taking care of this man, and his net worth has dropped from $20 million to $500,000 because due to all of the accusations and the court cases, he's been dropped from Marvel, he's been dropped from the Avengers movie, and now the project is shelved and all that because he can't partake in it, according to them. Pastor Jeff, what are your thoughts in now this older, more seasoned actress dating this younger man? She's fresh out of her first marriage, and now she's taking on these financial responsibilities.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. my man is macking that. That's what he's doing. he got his Mac on. So don't hate him for it. She is a 43-year-old woman, and options are starting to be few for her. Okay, she's getting she has to go younger. She got to raise a child in the way she should go. But I'm telling you this though, she has milked so many men. A lot of her wealth didn't come from her acting. Just like that last marriage she had with that preacher, she took him for a lot of money. So it's about time that she got. You know what I'm saying? Even before that man, the last man she had before that, she took him for a lot of money. These men set her up. She got paid. So now it's time for her to pay. Okay.
Wait, okay, so because I've been reading a lot about that as well, Pastor Jeff, as far as, well, Devon Franklin is actually the one who left and divorced her. And there was talk about, she didn't want to stay within that Christianity, confiance. So she left, and they said, no, that wasn't true. He felt because their personalities and everything was so different. And it's so confusing because I remember watching her on an interview where it was around the time that Intruder movie came out with Michael Ealy. She was married to Michael Ealy in the movie. And they had to do a sex scene. And she said, she was on the D.L. Hughley podcast show. And she told him and the other host that Devon Franklin told her, do what you got to do, just make it look natural. And they looked at her like, your preacher husband gave you that advice to do? And she said, yeah, that's what he told me. Like, go ahead and do what you do. Just make it look natural. Because, of course, we know him to be in the film industry as well, but he's supposed to be in the other genre, as far as, Christian movies. So they were like, well, how would your preacher husband give you that kind of advice? So there's all kind of conspiracy theories going on as to who left who, why, did she really take him for money, so on and so forth. So I don't even know. Pastor KL, what are your thoughts on, would you let Megan Good pay your child support?
Yeah, any way you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied. You know what I mean? I mean, if that's a blessing, who am I to turn down a blessing? We got to be careful what we ask God for, because God just might do it. I think she the fool. Listen, in my former days, I've had women pay my rent. And I was okay with it. The lights never went off. I had to stop it because one woman found out I was just tricking her, and she had all my mail go somewhere else. So after that, I learned quickly. But for a while, I didn't pay rent at all. So, I mean, that's just my former days. But yeah, if you gonna be Boo Boo the Clown, I'm staying in the circus, baby.
Oh my goodness. Brother Al, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, she giving out money like that. I'm wondering if she got a sister.
You know what? You're not clear to me because she got a sister. She does have a sister. Her sister's married.
So,
You know what?
even better. But it's just like what Pastor Jeff said. What goes around comes around. You know what I'm saying? And so you got these people for all this money, and now you done got somebody, and he need a little financial help, and you helping him. But we all know about Hollywood anyway. The marriage is a joke. They don't take it serious. They don't understand that is a vow under God, and they just do it. They'll be together 6 months. They married, then they divorced, then they married again. So it's like it's expected in Hollywood, which is sad. But again, her friends don't mind your business. Y'all was okay when she was with the preacher and all them taking their money. You ain't hear a word from them. Now she giving up the money, you got a problem. Why? Because it's making your pockets a little short. Mind your business. MOB, mind your business. I mean MYB, mind your business.
Oh my goodness. Brother Ainsley, what are your thoughts on this? This is a single woman who now married this man who has a child. She has no children. Closest she is to motherhood is being an aunt to her. I think her sister had a boy, well, being an auntie. And now I'm taking on your child support bill. What are your thoughts on that?
I think she's just, I forgot to Pastor Jeff mention it, how, her past with, getting money, from guys and stuff like that. So you can look at it, this is going to be just like karma. I totally forgot all about it. But, she's been in this game for a while. Ain't like she a newbie. Like she just started like 3-5 years ago. She a veteran of this business. And to me, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking she probably think she can always get some money that way, so she got to dish it out a little bit. Stuff like, a $75,000 dog training bill. I mean, please, I got a puppy, and I spent $200 just to get some leashes and insurance and stuff like that. And I'm like, 200. You talking about 75,000? I mean, and so that lifestyle is like you lose some kind of common sense. And I don't know, I don't know them personally. Going through everything he was going through. To me, I don't know them, but to me, the whole marriage seems like it was just birthed out of a struggle. I'm like, do they really get to know each other? Because everything seems good. You're going with them while they struggle, but is that really them? So to me, I think, as Jeff said, like she's meeting him as he's a good actor. He putting it on. He's still acting. Okay? Paying his child support, a $75,000 pet bill, probably living in a house, and whatnot. Yeah, you lost, your bank and stuff like that. But he's still acting. He never stopped.
Absolutely. And it's for her to say, despite being warned by my friends, and her friends are saying we don't know what she sees in him, and we don't even know if she'll be able to pay her mortgage comfortably. And I'm pretty sure these are the same friends that have been rocking with her for a while. Again, she's been acting since little. It's almost like how when they were speaking on when Lady Tamika commented on the Michael Jackson thing. This is before he could pay bills, he was in the entertainment industry. So was she. And now to see her in this type of situation is really. And then you come from a marriage where whether you was taking him for his money or not, you were still stable. And now you're in a situation like this. That's real concerning. Okay, what Terrence says, LOL, while we ask Pastor KL, he's a pimp. LOL, my guy. Don't tell him he's no pimp.
Keep on pimping.
Don't tell this man he's no pimp. But really quickly, gentlemen, since we do have a couple of comments in regards to this, I would love to get your feedback on this whole who's better, Beyonce, Michael Jackson thing. Really quick before I get your quick feedback. Terrence says, no Chris Brown either. Please, Terrence, let us know what you were referring to as to that. Tamika says, how many other artists have taken snips of his music for stardom? You can't compare the two, especially since Michael Jackson is no longer living. He would still be achieving awards today. Okay, Anika says, right, especially when there are artists we know can sing way better than Beyonce. Terrence said, Anika, please name a couple that you think can sing better than Beyonce. Terrence says, LOL, was just about to say, oh, he got his Barry White voice on. Okay, we went over that. Yes, so there's been this whole internet thing, gentlemen, as far as who's better, Michael Jackson or Beyonce, because Beyonce has to have these accomplishments. Like, we're not taking away from Michael Jackson, but she's came along and she got the whole black feminist thing and so on and so on and so on and so forth. Pastor Jeff.
Yes.
Who would you put your vote on? Michael Jackson or Beyonce as the best entertainer?
It's gonna be Michael Jackson. She'll never be able to touch him. Okay? And all this talk going on, that it's just talk. It's just talk. you know, she has to do all that demonic stuff and everything else to try to rope people in. Now her, you know, she's a lot prettier than Michael Jackson now, sexier than Michael Jackson, but you know, he was talent through and through, you know, and he had it all: dance, singing, you know, to persona. They worshipped him as a god. Okay, and, you know, had he lived, you know, forget about it. You know, she'll never be able to touch him.
Absolutely. Brother Al, who would you bang on, Beyonce or Mary J. Blige? Goodness gracious, Michael Jackson.
Get it together. You thinking about that money?
Well, I'm looking right at the pictures about some Mary J. Blige.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Definitely Michael Jackson, and you know that's the problem with the younger generation now. When they come up, even I get on my kids about the basketball. You don't respect who paved the way. You know, so many artists said, "Man, if it wasn't for Michael Jackson," and the number one, Usher, you wouldn't have an Usher. He get Michael Jackson praise all the time. So people forget that. You know, who paved the way for you? Who did it and did it greatly? Like, it didn't matter how old Michael Jackson get. You know, he could sell out anywhere he go. A concert, he could have a hall, wherever he go, he could sell out. So, you know, and not taking away from Beyonce, I think she's good. But compared to Michael Jackson, come on, stop it, y'all. I know you're a fan, but stop it. Just stop it.
Too much. They've crossed the line of fan and hit idolatry.
Yeah, they crossed the line.
Brother Ainsley, who would you put your bank on? Michael Jackson, Jackson, Beyonce.
To me, this is not even a question. I mean, like, to me, even the question coming up is like brain disease. I mean, come on now. You know, how you know, Michael Jackson is the foundation for what everybody is doing today. Maybe everybody don't remember, you know, everybody doing videos. There was no videos before Michael Jackson. He was the first black to get stuff on MTV. There was no videos. He was the first one to open up the start of the social media, if you will, on TV and stuff like that, which is all what Beyonce takes advantage of to get where she is today. So to me, stuff like that on social media is straight clickbait. People just make up stuff, and it's just a furtherance of this. It's an occult. It really is a satanic following how this stuff is going on about her and stuff like that. That's a whole nother issue. But to even say that she's on an equal par or better as far as artist skill and stuff like that, come on. I would hope that she ain't even thinking like that herself. I would hope that she's not even thinking that herself. You know, like a brother Al said, you know, you always hear this in basketball. Who's better? Is it MJ or is it LeBron? Who's this, that, and another? You got to give acknowledgement to those who were before you, the foundation and stuff like that. Because without him, it wouldn't be her. Period. And even the question is like, you know, I gotta look at people who say stupid stuff like that. You don't even have to say anything. You just gotta look at them kind of crazy. Come on, man. Really?
Well, I don't know, because you know they've never had church masses in the name of Michael Jackson, but they've had it for Beyonce. So
brain damage.
You don't know what she on the other end thinking. Pastor KL, Michael Jackson or Beyonce, greatest entertainer of all time.
Listen, if the fellas here be honest, we were all Michael Jackson at one time. We thought we were Michael Jackson. we sang the song, we did the dances. I still can't moonwalk, but you couldn't tell me that back then. It got to be Michael Jackson. I don't know the entire lyrics to any song Beyonce did. I don't. All I can quote is "Put a Ring on It." That's it. I know every Michael Jackson song from "She's Out of My Life," "Dancing Machine." You know, I could name some songs that these folks don't even know he wrote. No, man, go kill yourself. Okay, and then Michael Jackson has worked with the greatest. I mean, the greatest Quincy Jones. I mean, he's wrote for people. I mean, Oh man, why are we even having a conversation about this? Beyonce, go sit down. Go get a
That's what
BBL.
I
Go get a
say.
CDL. Get a CDL.
I still got the glove. Pastor Care, I still got the glove.
I'm mad. I'm mad. Wait, Lady Tamika says Patti LaBelle would literally render Beyonce speechless, silence Lil Gal, sit down. Ketty is giving a whole lot of round of applause for Michael Jackson. Terrence says Michael Jackson is on Mount Rushmore and Beyonce is nowhere near there. Absolutely. But just like one of the gentlemen said, or someone said, you know, a lot of the time this is just for clout. How can I make myself a lot more relevant? Oh, wait. Okay, Nika says, wait, Anika, who's IMO? She's naming people she thinks can sing better than Beyonce. Jennifer Hudson. And do y'all remember when Dreamgirls came out? And who won the award? Jennifer Hudson won the award. And Beyonce was mighty salty. And she had to remember Dreamgirls was really about the downfall and the come up of Effie. We didn't play Effie, sis. Have a seat. Layla Hathaway, Let Us See, Jill Scott. Wow. Okay. Terrence says, to me, I thought Kelly Rowland sounded better than Beyonce when they first came out, and she doesn't even sound better than Jennifer Hudson to me. I thought so too. I think not only that, we had no idea that Kelly Rowland nor LaToya Luckett can sing the way they can because all of the attention was always given to Beyonce. LaToya Luckett sings better than Beyonce, in my opinion. Tamika says yes to Jennifer Hudson, and KL, Pastor KL Ketty is laughing at you. Okay, all right. So we have some thoughts on that. And again, I agree. A lot of time, this is just to give some type of attention. You know, if she's not getting a certain amount of attention, then something's happening. But before we close out, gentlemen, I would love to introduce the story to you and get your feedback. So I came across the story actually the other day, and I thought it was rather interesting. So you have China develops first ever pregnancy robot to replace surrogacy. So China is developing the world's first pregnancy robot. It's designed to carry a baby from conception to birth using an artificial womb. They have some concerns from critics that they're calling the technology unnatural. They're raising concerns about ethics, maternal connection with the baby, and long-term health risks for the baby. Supporters are bringing up the potential benefits for infertile couples, and they say it could reduce the physical toll of pregnancy. So they're thinking that this is a really innovative way to have the infertility treatment and to go around motherhood. So there's a doctor by the name of Zane Queefing, and his vision is for a robotic surrogate who is capable of full-term pregnancy. And he unveiled this idea this year at the World Robot Conference in Beijing. And the features for this prototype include the artificial womb, which is implanted in the humanoid abdomen, a nutrient delivery system connected through a hose, so where mothers would have to make sure they're eating a high nutrition-filled diet, they would feed the baby through a hose, through the robot. A lifelike interface that allows interaction with the pregnant robot. So they're saying a prototype is expected as early as 2026, and the target price is about $14,000. And the doctor states, quote, artificial womb technology is already in a mature stage. Now it needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy, end quote. Now we know that a lot of the women who cannot have children or don't want to have children, They take the surrogacy route, and this is to go around that. The idea of using a machine to bypass laws banning traditional surrogacy has added another layer to the debate. Quote, pregnancy is an extremely complex process, with each step being extremely delicate and critical. He called the robot likely that is just a gimmick, someone else is saying on the other side. And someone is saying, quote, many health risks emerge at different ages, not to mention mental health issues. Gentlemen, we are officially at the point where we are now introducing this. So it's bad enough you have people going around God for the surrogacy thing. Now they're bypassing humans and they're implanting the fetus in the robot. Brother Al, have we just lost every bit of mind?
Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Get behind these out, Satan. They have gone mad. This is why I'm moving to the moon. Because I'm not going to sit here and watch them create these crazy monsters that are going to look to take over the world. They have lost every bit of whatever little mind they have left. And I'm telling you, I seen this. I didn't read it, but I was strolling through something and I saw it, and I'm like, nah, this can't be. No, I didn't even want to read it. It is absolutely insane. Now you want to play God, right? This is why we got to pray.
Yes, hard. Pastor Jeff, what are they doing?
It's been expected. And, just like the Tower of Babel, they're coming together and they're going to, we were made in his image. So we're going to take it to the limit, especially, if we leave God, there's no boundaries. So you can expect it. But I don't know. I'm kind of caught in between, because if there's a couple that can have a child, I'd rather the robot push the baby out, so to speak, than having a surrogate. If it was me, personally, I'd rather, them take the egg from the woman, my wife, and take the sperm from me and put it in the robot. Personally, I would, than to put it in another woman to bring that baby into the world. So I don't know. I don't know what God would say about it. You still need the life giver, which is the man's sperm, and you still need that egg from a woman. So, I'm caught between that technology,
So I'm going to reread one of the quotes and then go to where my mind went first. So the doctor is saying, now it needs to be, artificial womb technology is already in a mature stage. Now it needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy. The first thing that came to mind for me was, who said God approves surrogacy in any form? Whether it was with another woman, whether it's with a robot. When we had the Bible challenge to read the Bible from cover to cover in a year, we came across the first ever surrogacy story. And it has been chaos since the first time someone woke up and decided, I can't have children, so let's now do this fertility drug thing and implant it in her. And it has been complete chaos. That has never been God's design. So now we've taken it from it not being God's design and now incorporating another human into this union to now have a baby that God is trying to prevent us from having, because we all can count on all 10 fingers and toes parents we know who have no business being parents. Okay? Now you're bypassing that and you're talking about now all the robot needs is a human, a real person to interact with to achieve the pregnancy. Brother Ainsley, Do you think this is something that God is sitting back like?
You ain't asked me about the robot, but it's okay. Go ahead,
I didn't get to you yet. See. That's why. That's why.
My brother want to get on it. He wants to get on it.
Right. I ain't forget about him. But Brother Ainsley, do you think this is something God is sitting up above, looking down low and saying, y'all doing a thing? That's right. Go ahead. Is this something he's approving of?
Of course not. Of course not. You know, with any kind of advancement of technology, there's always this thing of, is it ethical? Should it, is it ethically and whatnot? And it's always seems ethically questionable. Now, to me, and I've said it before, just because you can do something does not mean you should or ought to do it. And with the technology and stuff like this, just because you can do it, I don't think it needs to be going further. But here we go. We got those who are in furtherance of this, who are not believers, who are not doesn't have any really ethically morals. So it does not matter. And so I think we're going to continue to see stuff like this happen. Next thing, I think, like what somebody brother said, next thing we're gonna have robots having sex.
Mm-hmm.
And with our DNA and stuff like that into it and stuff like that. God ain't in all that. Not at all. Not at all. Just because you can do it, don't mean that you ought to do it. But it's going to happen because you're going to have people who don't have no, they're not a believer, don't have any kind of boundaries or ethically restraints. It's going to continue to happen. So of course, no. Mm-mm.
Absolutely.
And how this stuff goes in, how stuff that always gets through with this and other things. Oh, it's a benefit. It's going to help this particular situation. Meanwhile, calling it mad chaos, mad problems on down the line. 10% good, 90% bad, but they'll push that 10% on you. Just because you can do it, don't mean it needs to be done or it should be done. Go ahead, Brother KL. Go ahead.
Yes, Pastor KL. What are your thoughts, Pastor KL?
Can't hear you, bro.
You're still muted.
Okay. I heard Pastor Jeff say, it might be a good thing for people that can't have babies. I'm not having no bionic baby. I'm scared of the bionic baby. The baby gonna come out. He gonna be stronger than me. He gonna be throwing me around. I say do something, he gonna tell me no, and then he gonna show me why he ain't doing it. Y'all taking too many chances with robots? No, that's totally ridiculous. And then my question now is the robot has the baby. Who's breastfeeding? The robot?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, how does the baby live now? What if it rejects Similac, or what if it rejects different kind of milk and it can only deal with breast milk? Who breast he's sucking on? Okay, I'm sorry.
They can make a robot produce breast milk too, if they able to do that.
But why? Why?
That sounds disgusting.
Right.
That's insane. Yes. Absolutely insane.
If this is supposed to be something, we have a few comments. Wait, really quick. Sir says, iRobot is becoming real. Shaking my head. Where the robots going to make us live? In the Matrix? Terrence is asking, who's paying that robot child support? Will we be giving them oil? I also hope they have all the papers and documents correct because they can't get an abortion or they might get deported. Keep playing around with Trump. He'll figure out a way to deport the robots, right? Because they're coming from China. And Anika says they've been playing God, going further and further. Absolutely. Why are we playing? One of the first things that's brought up is the story of Sarah and Abraham and how God told Sarah, you're going to have a child, but because she was already old. And it's funny because if you watch the animated version of that story, they got Sarah with no teeth pushing this baby out. And I'm like, all right, bro, y'all didn't have to like really show she's old like that. Like we know when we read it biblically, she old. But come on, y'all. Like y'all, as the young people say, y'all dragging it. But she was old. But because she didn't believe it, she laughed. And because she didn't believe it, she convinced her husband to now have this whole surrogacy plan, only to get mad anyway. And now, not only that, because you went ahead of God and did your own plan, you had the chosen ones who came from Isaac fighting with the ones who weren't even supposed to be here, who came from Ishmael. That's what I said. Reading this story was very interesting. So you had two sets of cousins fighting against each other, but one set of cousins has no business being here because Abraham may have no business having sex and having a baby with Hagar. But all because you got your plan.
And we're gonna be fighting robot babies.
Yes.
And he committed adultery.
Right. Because just because your wife said go ahead doesn't mean God didn't look at it as you committing adultery. He already gave, especially because God had already given them the plan. It's not even like, okay, well, God hasn't said nothing, so I'm gonna move ahead. You still would have been wrong. But you already got the plan, but because you didn't believe the plan, you concocted your own plan, and now you got this set, the Israelites fighting against the Hittites and the Ammonites and all those ites people came from Ishmael, the people who were never supposed to be here. Now put that in today's terms. We see that happening today. We gotta be very careful about what we talking about. We okay with, because there's no need for this. This is just because you want money. This because you want to be able to say, I invented this, and I want to get paid for $14,000 for a robot for your baby to be in a robot stomach. They feed the baby the nutrition it needs through a hose. So it's still taking a human to do this. Who's putting food in the hole? Another robot isn't doing it. Timon says we keep playing. It's going to be a lot of Megans running around here. For real. Like the movie Megan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And you know what's so crazy? And what's so crazy is these people that fiending so bad to have a child, and then you go through this, and that child come out being special needs, and people don't realize how hard it is and the work you have to put in to take care of a special needs child.
Yes. I know someone like that too. They fought, had a child of special needs. The father ain't nowhere to be found now, but they both fought to have this child.
Listen,
so we
you have a bionic baby. You can't put him in the microwave. You can't plug him up next to him. You can't put him in the heater. You know, are we thinking about all this stuff? You know, the circus is going out at the house. You know what I mean? Nah, man.
And you know what else crazy? I bet you $100 million. There's no men of color saying, "Yeah, I want to do that." Because we thinking of, okay, how I'm gonna pay child support? I'm gonna have to pay electricity. I'm gonna have to give them bolts and screws. What's going on? Nah, I pass.
Oh my goodness. Terrence says, I truly get it though. Why China's doing this? Remember, they are limited to how many children they can have. So if the robot has a child, it will be more of them than us if it comes to war down the line. I don't know, because they're trying to push this over here to the US so that we can now be just as slow. But thank you so much, Due Time Men, for being on this morning. As Pastor Steph says, taking us into a thought-provoking weekend. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
You too. Everyone enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Stay away from the robots. Stay away from the robots.
Oh my goodness. If they can, they will. And I love what Brother Ainsley brought up, because that's actually a verse. As we're closing, let me see if I can pull that verse up. It's not a benediction, but it's something that, a verse that I feel like we need to focus on a lot. 1 second. When Brother Ainsley said, just because I can, I know it. I can paraphrase, but I want to be able to read it. Oh, I found it. Okay, it is 1 Corinthians chapter 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. I'm reading it in the Amplified version. Everything is permissible for me, but not all things are beneficial. Everything is permissible for me, but I will not be enslaved by anything and brought under its power, allowing it to control me. And I'm going to put that in the comments, because if we don't think of anything else, these streets, this world right now is full of trying to push certain things onto us that we have no business partaking in, no business focusing on, no business putting our head there. And like Brother Al said, he said, I came across this and I saw it, but I refused to read it. I understand because I have to tell people a lot, like, stop bringing certain things to me. Doesn't mean it doesn't deserve its attention or it shouldn't get my attention, but not right now. I'm learning how to focus on what I need to focus on, when I need to focus on it. And if we try to focus on everything this world presents to us, we would have a brain aneurysm, because it's just too much. Every time you turn around, something else, whether it's a new conspiracy theory, whether it's a new news story, whatever it is in your own personal life, something is always being presented to you. And we have to really make sure that we're focusing on the things God needs us to focus on. If my attention is supposed to be on God, it does not mean that I don't have desires. It does not mean that I may not desire something that's outside of God's will for my life. But if I'm focused on Him, and I'm preaching to myself right now, if I'm focused on Him, there'll be less time of me being upset about what I don't have, and more time appreciating what I do have and what God is entrusting me to do in Him, in His name, for His name. This whole surrogacy thing, I even look at the celebrities who have these kids and I'm like, a lot of these celebrities fight to have these children. They go the surrogacy route and they ain't got no business having kids. They can barely handle the industry. Meanwhile, they go and they introduce these children to it. And now the children are all twisted. And it's like, there's a reason, y'all. There's a reason. If you don't have any money and you go rob that bank, there's a reason why you were broke. Even if the reason was because of you. It's not always God, because we have a role to play as well. So I'm broke because God said I don't deserve no money. No, you may be broke because you don't know how to make money. And He's teaching you the role you need to play in order to make money. But that's not the route. But something like children, you could be doing the do in order to have children, and the children are not coming. There's a reason why. The same way all of the women who have all of these abortions. If you're living a reckless life and you don't want to have children, then stop living a reckless life. Maybe keep your legs closed, you wouldn't get pregnant. Or if you're married and you end up getting pregnant, because there's some married women who don't want to be mothers, or at that time, if you end up getting married, it's not up to you to now go and abort that child. There's a reason why God allowed that sperm to hit that egg. We have to stop trying to move ahead of God, as Anika said, playing God. And the more we play God, because there is no discipline in sin, we have no limits as to how far the sin goes. We love to think we do. We don't. Because one thought goes to another thought, goes to another thought, especially if you're able to act on the thoughts. Got to make sure you're being very careful as to what you're even introducing to yourself. Okay? Have to make sure, because if not, you will be in a whole lot of trouble. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Catch us live every weekday morning, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, A Closer Walk Christian Media Network, and right here live on Facebook, Coach for Christian Life Facebook page. Make sure you contact Pastor Steph, DM her, let her know you miss her. Let her know y'all enjoyed yesterday and today with me. I know you did. Okay. But thank you so much again for being with us. Make sure you focus on things that are above, not on things that are here on the earth, because they will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. Until, God willing, Sunday night for the Word Prayer Project, or if we're not on Sunday night, we will be on Monday. God spares, we're shaking the Monday morning blues with Pastor Steph. Yes, God spares, she will be back with you guys. Again, make sure you contact her, let her know you're thinking about her, you miss her. Thank you so much for entrusting me to assist you in getting your morning right with God. We thank God for all of the technology and devices in order to spread His word. Make sure you go back and you watch this entire week. We have a nice weekend, God spares, ahead of us. Make sure you take the time to focus on God. Make sure you take the time to do His will, because He's relying on you to do so. Spread His word, okay? So until Sunday, God spares, for the Word Prayer Project, on Monday, we're shaking the Monday morning blues. Thank you so much again for being here with us. I love you.